Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's topic, you know what we're going to be talking about. Zay Flowers. You know, that receiver that is now on Baltimore. So, here's my thing. I wanted Tank Dell. I'm always honest with you guys with everything that I say. And I don't take back what I say. I stand on my principles. I don't dislike the pick. I don't. I just never watched enough tape on him to understand or know what you guys see in him. And that's where I'm at with it. But the reason why I did this video specifically on Zay Flowers today is because of who you guys are comparing him to. Like, we're not talking about him being compared to scrubs. You guys are comparing this man to AB, meaning Antonio Brown. You guys are comparing him to Steve Smith Sr. You guys are comparing him to Deshaun Jackson, or more heavy, more like built to get hit, Hollywood Brown. Now, on the low spectrum of how you would gauge those players, AB, of course, I think AB and Steve Smith Sr. are the creme de la creme, you know what I mean? And then, you know, Deshaun and Hollywood is a little lower. But I wouldn't be mad with any of those guys, any of them. The only thing I would say is, you know, Hollywood with some of his drops and concentration drops. But outside of that, I'm not mad if we got any which one of four of those guys. So I was watching some tape and going over it, and I was like, man, let me go check what everybody's looking at. And I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, he's good. You know what I'm saying? He does seem to have this ability and knack to fight for the football. Like, he is very aggressive. For a smaller receiver, that's why I think the comparisons with Hollywood start to deter. Hollywood, to me, is faster. When I watch Zay Flowers tape, Hollywood is definitively faster. I think Hollywood has a gear, an absolute other gear, like how Deshaun Jackson has another gear that he can hit that other players just can't get to. They'll catch a cramp or pull something trying to keep up or trying to accelerate as fast as they do. So those, to me, are where the differences start to go like this. You know what I mean? Between the Hollywood and him claims. And just FYI, you see how calm I am? I am celebrated out from yesterday. Yo, you hear my voice? I'm trying to be a little more calmer, everything. Voice is strained. I have a slight nagging migraine from all the celebration. Yesterday was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighbor. Won't you be mine? So I'm happy. Make no mistake about it. I just want to make sure you understand, like, yo, why is Nacho talking a little lower than usual? Because I am partied out. I mean, I was flipping out, doing backflips in the house. And if you think my big butt cannot do backflips, you don't know Nitro. Full on. You would think I was a Power Ranger. But like I was saying, that's kind of where the differences between him and Hollywood start to really differentiate between the two. Watching him, he's more rugged, willing to go over the middle more. Hollywood is a more elusive guy. He doesn't want to take those hits. He's going out of bounds. Hollywood is a small guy that, in all actuality, does not want to get hit. And that's because, let's be real, he's a smaller framed guy. You know what I mean? It makes no sense for him to take a hit and then be out for 9 games. You know what I'm saying? I remember when one time Deshaun Jackson went across the middle, and I forgot which team it was. Maybe it was the Atlanta Falcons or somebody, but they cleared him, and it changed. Like, after that hit, he was in and out of the lineup for like 3 months. So I understand where Hollywood does. And I have no hating on Hollywood. You know, I respect his game. I respect what he brought here. The guy can ball. You know what I'm saying? The only problems I had with him was concentration drops. But outside of that, every playoff game, Hollywood showed up. And he showed up big. See, that's speaking with entirety. Speaking with total context. When you looked at Hollywood Brown, every time it was time to show up, Hollywood Brown showed up. The Colts game. Remember the Colts game when Lamar broke all those records and him and Mark Andrews both had like 150 yards receiving each and stuff like that? Hollywood caught the game-winning touchdown, showed up. The game against the Titans in the playoffs, he and Lamar showed up. The Bills and him showed up. The Titans game again with him and Lamar showed up. So Hollywood shows up for big moments. And, it's almost like two Hollywoods. During the regular season, he'll have games where he'll drop the ball 3 times, 4 times. But in the playoffs, Hollywood has stick'ems for hands. So shout outs to him. But I think that's where the differences start to really make a difference. Two different players when it comes to that. Now, I heard people saying Deshaun, I do not see him anywhere near. I watched a lot of Deshaun tape growing up because he was one of my favorite receivers. My favorite receiver was Andre Johnson, but Deshaun Jackson was definitely top 3. And watching a lot of tape on him, I just don't see where him and Deshaun's tape line up at all. Like, at all. Like, none. I don't see the correlation of that at all. But I do tell you what I did see. Watching his tape and going back and watching tape on Steve Smith Sr. in college, I can understand some of the similarities you guys are talking about. Now, I don't know if he'll become Steve Smith Sr. because a lot of times people Raven fans remember Steve Smith Sr. Stiff arming the guy on the Bengals and walking in the 3-touchdown game and stuff like that. I remember Carolina Panthers Steve Smith Sr. I remember Triple Crown winner Steve Smith Sr. I remember him going against the Patriots and him being the only weapon they have to worry about, Steve Smith Sr. So there's levels to this. Steve Smith Sr. was an absolute monster on and off the field. He was the epitome of aggressiveness. And if we were correlating his mindset, his attitude, his play style to a Marvel character, Steve Smith Sr.'s best Marvel character would be Wolverine. Small, undersized, but absolutely ruthless. Aggressive. Just a monstrosity of a man at small stature. And this dude was knocking out teammates who talked wrong to him. Like, he was no joke. So, but on the field, I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I could see some of the play styles. I definitely could. And I was sitting there like, well, okay, this makes sense why people would want him then. But then this is the crux. Does he look like AB? I started going through the tape. And then I sat there and I was like, let me look at Steve Smith stuff. Let me look at AB stuff. Let me look at Zay stuff. And I'm like, whoo. I started to see the ceiling you guys were talking about. You see, that's the type of person I am. I'll go back, check, start to see what you guys. If that man, Zay Flowers, ever truly realizes his ceiling, Carolina Panthers Steve Smith or Pittsburgh Steelers Antonio Brown, bro, oh God, bro, it's going to be a lovely day because he will eventually lead the league in receiving as a Baltimore Raven wide receiver. And he'll be the first receiver to ever do it. If that happens, if he hits the ceiling, he'll be one of the first Pro Bowlers, all pros at the wide receiver position for the Ravens. Because we've never had a Pro Bowler and we've never had an all pro at receiver on the Ravens. Never. It's never happened. For everybody that's like, oh, well, we've had good receivers, these receivers over the years. They've never been a Pro Bowler and they've never been an all pro. Never. So I think his ceiling is an all pro. Now, can he realize that? Will this system allow him to realize that? Will Lamar target him enough for him to realize that? Will he stay healthy enough to realize that? Those are the final questions to the puzzle. But I'm not mad at this at all. I'm going to listen, I know a lot of people, we were in Twitter spaces and stuff talking about it. I did want Tank Dell, and I'm not changing my my sound on that at all. Not at all. I think Tank Dell's going to be an absolute monster in this league. I think when things come back around, I think people are going to say, my God, Tank Dell. Jesus. Like, I really do feel that way. Yeah. When I watch Tank Dell play, I get goosebumps. And I'm hoping that Zay Flowers can get me goosebumps too. I'm not mad at it. Lamar has some talent. I will say this, though. Watching so much of the, talk shows, sports talk shows, it kind of irked me today with what they were going with the information. Oh, Lamar has so much weapons now, he has no excuses. And he better produce and da. You don't say that to any other person but Lamar. And I'm like, we're hoping Zay Flowers can turn into what people hope he can. We're hoping Bateman can turn into what he can. We're hoping OBJ can stay healthy to reclaim some of what he used to have. And for you guys just to come out and be like, hey, he has everything now. It's like, bro, do you guys get paid to do what y'all do? Don't worry. The next video, I'm going to go into a lot of the stuff that I've seen with the Lamar slander already starting. But definitely, I'm not mad at the pick. Shout outs to Zay Flowers. I hope him nothing but the best. I hope that he turns into what everybody sees his capabilities to be and realizing his ceiling. And I tell you something right now, if he ever does realize that ceiling that people have placed on him or say that he can become, then the Ravens are not going to win 1. They're not going to win 2. They're not going to win 3. I see the Ravens definitively winning multiple championships and forming a modern era dynasty in Baltimore. Now, I know that might sound like a biased fan, but I watched Lamar Jackson lead the league in passing touchdowns with a hobbled Marquise Brown. I watched him lead the league in passing touchdown with a Willie Snead. I watched him lead the league in passing touchdowns with a Seth Roberts. I watched him put up 500 total yards in a playoff game where there was about 7 or 8 drops, 4 or 5 of them for touchdowns. What will he do if these guys reach their ceilings? Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of records are going to be falling. What you saw, some of the games that you saw out of Lamar, the 6, 7 touchdowns being pulled by third quarter and stuff like that will be on full display. So what else I got to say to close out this episode? Monken, get to work. Monken, you got your QB. Monken, you got your pieces. Good sir, get to work. And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Hey, yo, listen. You guys have been so amazing these past couple days, from watching the live, watching the vids, watching the shorts. Thank you so much for the support for this channel, for what we're trying to build over here, okay? Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. You know I love the comments and stuff like that. And I just want to say thank you to Brandon Eaton for a $5 donation that he made during the live yesterday. I said thank you, but I always want to make sure during the shows that I give love. So Brandon Eaton, thank you for the $5 donation. And I just also want to say thank you to Michael David Akins for a $28 donation. Let me tell you this right now. You guys help make this channel go. You do. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. This is a one-man band. Everything you see is just me. So I'm trying everything to give you guys the best content, to build up this platform that you guys can enjoy the content, trust the content, and ultimately always be able to lean on the content. And, you know, it takes a lot. And you guys supporting it the way that you do, watching as much as you do, retweeting, subscribing, it does so much. So I just want to say once again, thank you. And for anybody else that might want to donate to this platform, at the bottom of the screen right there to the left, you'll see a QR code. It's to the Cash App. Okay, that's how we usually do it. I know there's super thanks and stuff like that, and you can do it that way. But the way that I do love it being done is through the Cash App. They don't take any money from it, so yeah, I get the whole thing. So also the name of it, you can find it in the description of every video. Money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Also available now to Patreon with the access, if you buy into it, access to the Discord, which I gotta start doing because the Discord has been real quiet the last, and I don't know why it's been quiet, but you get access to the Discord, you get access to questions from subscribers, you get access to winning free merchandise, and you'll get access to an up-and-coming fantasy football league. So there's that too. So go out there and become a patron and help with this channel even further. So once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. The show's Nitro signing off, and as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yep.